Okay, I'll ask you a simple question. What do a panda, skyscraper construction, samurai swords, toilet paper, and global warming have in common? That's right, bamboo. And I know what you're thinking right now. Seriously? Bamboo? It's just sticks at the zoo that a bear with black circles under its eyes eats. No. No, no, no. Bamboo is one of the strangest, most aggressive, useful, and mysterious creatures on our planet. I deliberately said creatures rather than plants. Once you learn how it behaves, you'll understand why. Here's a fact to kick things off. There's a species of bamboo that doesn't bloom for 120 years. Exactly 120. And then, every single plant of that species, simultaneously, all across the globe, blooms on the very same day, produces seeds, and dies. Every last one of them, in perfect sync, as if someone, somewhere, just pushed a button. And, to this day, nobody knows how they do it. Today, you will find out why bamboo grows faster than the eye can follow, how it has taken over entire islands and wiped out ecosystems, whether you can build a real house out of it that can survive an earthquake, why China is using it as a weapon in a trade war, and what any of this has to do with the end of the world. Let's dive in. We'll start with the basics, because most people don't even know the fundamentals. Bamboo is a grass, not a tree. Grass. That's right. This 20-meter-tall green tiller, as hard as wood and used to make furniture and flooring, is actually a grass. It belongs to the Poaceae family. Its closest relatives are wheat and rice. It's just that wheat decided not to stop growing. There are currently about 1,500 known species of bamboo. They range from tiny 30-centimeter decorative shrubs to the colossal Dendrocalamus giganteus, which can reach 46 meters in height. That is a 15-story building made entirely of grass. Bamboo grows on all continents except Europe and Antarctica. Although it's now actively being planted in Europe, and we'll talk about that separately, because it's a problem. But the most interesting thing isn't its height, it's its speed. The record growth for bamboo is 91 centimeters in 24 hours, almost a meter a day. This means that if you sit next to a young bamboo shoot and watch carefully enough, you will literally see it grow. This is not a metaphor. It is physically observable with the naked eye. For comparison, the fastest growing tree, eucalyptus, grows about 10 centimeters a day at best. Why? Because bamboo has a fundamentally different growth strategy. Ordinary trees grow from the bottom up. They add cells at the end of a branch or trunk. Bamboo does it differently. It has ready-made segments, packed at the base of the stalk like a telescope. When it's time to grow, they simply unfurl. They don't create new cells, but expand existing ones. It's like unpacking an archive, not writing a program from scratch. And here's another important thing to understand about bamboo. What you see above ground is not the main thing. The main thing is underground. Beneath every bamboo grove lies a rhizome, an underground network of roots and shoots that can span several hectares. And this entire network is a single plant, one organism. See those 500 stalks? Those aren't 500 different plants. That is one single plant with 500 arms. This is exactly why bamboo is so hard to stop once it starts invading a territory. You chop down a stalk, but the root has already sent a new shoot 3 meters to the side. You dig up a root, but it has already managed to branch out somewhere else. It's like trying to kill a hydra. In Japan, there is a specific term, moso chiku, used to describe the aggressive expansion of moso bamboo. Originally introduced as an ornamental plant, it has since taken over vast areas, choking out native species. Japanese farmers spend millions of yen annually just to contain its spread. Not to defeat it, simply to hold the line. In the UK, the story is even grimmer. They face a massive crisis with Japanese knotweed, a plant that behaves in much the same way. A single root can reach 7 meters deep and span 20 meters wide. It punches through asphalt, house foundations, and sewage pipes. British law mandates that its presence be disclosed during property sales, because it tanks the home's value. In some cases, clearing a single infested plot can cost more than the land itself. Now, picture bamboo again, only faster and larger. Yet, it's this very aggressiveness that makes bamboo an incredibly powerful tool. In places where you need to quickly restore soil after erosion, halt a landslide, or stabilize a mountainside, bamboo accomplishes in months what would take a forest decades to achieve. Its root system holds 6 times more soil in place than an ordinary forest.
Remember how I mentioned synchronous flowering at the start? Let's dive deeper into that, because it is genuinely one of the strangest things in nature. Most bamboo species flower very rarely, some every 15 to 20 years, others every 60. Muhly bamboo? Every 120 years. And this is a precision cycle, not around 120 years, exactly 120. When researchers transplanted Muhly bamboo to other countries, to Europe, to America, it still flowered in the exact same year as its relatives back in Asia. Different climates, different conditions, different continents. It didn't matter. To this day, the mechanism behind this remains a mystery to science. One theory suggests the plant somehow maintains an internal molecular timer. Another posits that it reacts to cosmic cycles. A third suggests information is passed through the rhizome. But none of these explain how plants isolated from each other in different parts of the world stay perfectly synchronized. Now, for the consequences. After flowering, all the bamboo dies. All of it. Vast territories turn into dry, dead wood. It's a catastrophe for the animals that depend on bamboo for food. Okay, enough with the horror stories. Let's talk about why bamboo is the material of the future. Or perhaps it's already the material of the present. First, let's talk strength. Bamboo has a strength-to-weight ratio comparable to steel. In terms of tensile strength, it actually outperforms steel while weighing significantly less. Here are the hard numbers. The tensile strength of steel cables is roughly 400 megapascals. Bamboo can reach up to 500 megapascals. Compare that to regular wood, which sits around 40 megapascals. Bamboo is 10 times stronger than wood. It's no wonder that in Asia, bamboo scaffolding has been used for thousands of years, and it's still used today. In Hong Kong, builders prefer bamboo scaffolding over metal. It's lighter, faster to assemble, and flexible enough to withstand typhoons. Metal snaps in a storm, bamboo bends. This same combination of flexibility and strength makes bamboo an ideal building material for earthquake-prone regions. Bamboo houses survive quakes that turn concrete buildings into rubble. But construction is only the beginning. Today, bamboo is used to make almost everything. Parquet and laminate flooring, which is tougher than oak, fabric, softer than cotton and naturally antibacterial, tableware, packaging, bicycles, kayaks, violin bows, toothbrushes, glasses, laptops, and yes, even toilet paper. What's more, bamboo toilet paper is produced without chlorine and decomposes much faster than the standard kind. In Japan, bamboo was historically used for everything from samurai bows to flutes. Even a Japanese katana requires a scabbard, which is traditionally crafted from bamboo. Japan also has a dedicated art form for bamboo weaving called takezaiku. A masterfully crafted bamboo basket can cost more than a piece of gold jewelry. It is impossible to talk about bamboo without talking about China. It's like talking about oil and failing to mention Saudi Arabia. China is the world's largest producer and exporter of bamboo, controlling roughly 65% of the global market. The industry is worth over $60 billion annually and continues to grow by 5 to 6% each year. In China, bamboo is more than just a resource. It is a cultural icon. In Chinese poetry, it symbolizes resilience, flexibility, and humility. It bends in the wind but never breaks. Confucius once said that a noble man should be like bamboo. Today, China is aggressively rebranding bamboo as green steel, a viable alternative to plastic, metal, and timber. This isn't just about environmentalism, it's about geopolitics. The nation that controls the production of the prime eco-material of the future will control a massive slice of the global market for decades to come. And it's already happening. The EU is subsidizing the replacement of single-use plastics. And with what? Bamboo. Building codes in Europe are gradually certifying bamboo as a standard construction material. The sustainable living trend is turning bamboo products into premium goods. China saw this coming and prepared in advance. Here's an interesting twist. Bamboo has become a key tool of so-called soft power. China has gifted pandas, the ultimate symbols of bamboo, to dozens of countries. Each panda is a diplomatic gesture that carries a $1 million annual lease fee and a strict requirement to provide specific varieties of bamboo. It is, quite literally, bamboo diplomacy.
Now, for the part that actually inspired me to make this video. The planet is overheating. CO2 levels are rising. Forests are being cut down faster than they can recover. We all know this. But here's what you might not know. Bamboo absorbs CO2 4 times more effectively than an equivalent area of forest, and it produces 35% more oxygen. Why? Because it grows at a staggering rate. Carbon absorption is proportional to the speed of biomass growth. A tree takes 30 years to mature. Bamboo takes only 3 to 5. And you can harvest it, use it as a material, and the root remains, immediately sending up a new shoot. You aren't killing the plant, you're just giving it a haircut. This means a bamboo plantation is a permanent carbon pump. As long as you manage it, it keeps working. The numbers are clear. 1 hectare of bamboo absorbs between 17 and 35 tons of CO2 per year. For comparison, a hectare of coniferous forest absorbs about 8 tons, and a tropical forest about 15. Several countries, Ethiopia, India, Ghana, have already launched massive bamboo planting programs as a tool to fight climate change and desertification. In Ethiopia, millions of hectares of degraded land are being planted with bamboo. It restores the soil, provides building materials, and stops carbon from escaping the ground.
So, bamboo, a grass that grows faster than the eye can follow, a creature that dies in unison across the globe on a schedule no scientist can explain, a material stronger than steel, more flexible than wood, and an invader so aggressive it can tank property values in Britain. It feeds pandas, it survived the atomic blast at Hiroshima, standing as the closest living things to the epicenter. It builds skyscrapers, and just might save the planet from overheating. Or it won't if we don't get our act together in time. It's not just a plant. It's a mirror reflecting how nature itself is designed. Seemingly simple at a glance, but infinitely complex upon closer inspection. How deep do its roots go? Much deeper than it seems. If you want to learn about other plants that change the world, let me know in the comments. And subscribe if you enjoyed this story.